What's my line? Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Damn it.
My line, he says.
Line, please. Oh, hey, everybody. Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. My name is JP Leonard.
And I'm Tyler Arceneaux.
And we are... Wait.
We're dying
We're
down
dying
here.
down here. It's been 3 weeks. We're out of...
I know. We're out of
yeah.
sync. I hope you start with what's my line. We got to start the podcast with the what's my line.
We're kind of off. But
this is episode 11-ish.
11. This is
That's
episode
crazy.
11. And
Make a wish.
We got a combo today.
That's right.
We
Two
got
guests.
Two guests. So we have Gareth Reynolds. You know him from
the Dollop podcast.
Thank you. It's been so long. Not like I just edited last night. And we also have a special guest from in Lafayette from Oof Comedy here to talk about some things. John Merrifield.
It's going to be a fun one.
Roll those credits.
Intro.
Intro.
Yes.
Damn it.
Start the podcast.
And we're back.
And we went nowhere.
I scooted over my chair.
Yeah, it's okay. We're rusty.
We are rusty like a trombone. Not bad. We were it's been 3 weeks. We had to skip a week.
Just busy.
Busy. It's been slam, buddy. I got a lot to recap.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of 11-year-old girls soccer, so.
Oh, sorry, my amp alert just went off. All right.
I got to get my exercise somehow.
Yeah, and I've been traveling the roads, breaking in the miles, so it's been fun. You want to go first? What's been up with you?
Yeah, sure. I guess the most important thing I've done is I worked that run with Neil Rubenstein. My homie. Yeah, we had so much fun. Me, Abby Washuda, and Neil. What a great run of shows. It started off in Gonzales at the Cabin. We had a lot of fun.
Then where y'all went?
Huh?
Okay, go. Sorry.
We had a lot of fun there. We ate some good food. Then that was Thursday, Friday. We were in Lake Charles at Library Riot. That was a good one as well. Very fun. Always good to be there. And then we did it in Lafayette at CT.
Yeah.
The Arts.
Well, I ate lunch with y'all Saturday. That was fun.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then I ate post-supper with y'all.
We ate a lot. I feel like that was a problem.
Neil could eat.
Yeah, I mean, I could too, but it's like I wasn't saying no
at
any point to any of the food ideas that came our way, man.
Yeah. How was the shows? Break them down?
All right, so great. I mean,
awesome.
Dude, I did so very cool. Neil gave me a real great blessing by kind of letting me tag along, and I got to do pretty much 20 minutes on each show. I ended up actually doing just about 15 or 16 on the Lafayette one. But the first show, I felt pretty good about. I opened up. It was outside. Mm-hmm. So, the Cabin, very fun place. You can pack a whole lot of people in there.
Yeah. First time I did it was like sold out, and it was
crazy,
fun.
Right? Yeah, fun. Yeah. We didn't quite get to those numbers, but still, I mean, the people were there, and they were attentive, and they were ready for comedy. They were laughing a lot. I really felt like I had a pretty great set. Gave out a ton of stickers.
Nice.
I got my new stickers. I should have brought one to show off to the camera, but I think I got those in since the last time I was on the podcast. Oh, well, just trust me. They're great. They're great. They look a lot like me.
All right.
So that was Thursday.
I don't know where you're going with that. All right.
That was Thursday. Friday, we drove out to Lake Chuck.
Yeah.
Met up with Jacob Guidry, Lake Charles Comedy fam. We did a banger of a show.
Nice,
I mean, that Library Riot crowd is hot.
Yeah.
They're there for comedy. There was one very, very talkative person. And they were like just one of those people that were unaware having these full conversations out loud while the comedian's on stage. And it's like, oh, I'm not paying attention, so I'm just going to talk. And I feel like at one point he like pulled up his phone and was like showing some shit to his wife out loud. Like, look.
You know how people have never seen comedy in the last 20 to 30 years?
It's weird. Like, where are these people hiding? They're just under rocks.
I don't get it.
Then I took Neil and Abby to go do the First 5 podcast.
Yeah,
shout out to friends of We're Dying Down Here, Michael and Drew. They had a great episode. Make sure to go check it out. It is live now on their YouTube. Shout out to them. Very funny. Lots of laughs in that episode. I was in the studio as a special guest in the background, just laughing the whole time. It was so fun. And then we had a great show. We met up with John Merrifield, who we'll talk to in a little bit, and we had a great show at Cité des Arts at our new venue over there.
Yeah.
Our newish, I guess. John's been doing stuff there for a while, but newer to me. But yeah, we're going to talk about Cité a lot more. But that was a great show too, man. I got to see, for the first time, the audience perspective of the middle room.
Yeah.
And it looks great. The lighting's great.
When you
the little
walk in,
theater
you go
one.
to the left, that little
straight ahead.
Oh, with the seats, the elevated seats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
That room's great. Yeah. So the comedy show was
nice.
chef's kiss.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
We had an incredible time.
Good.
But yeah, man. Other than that, I've been playing little girl soccer. I don't know why I keep saying that. Traveling around with my little girl, taking her to soccer games. That's what we're.
I mean, you got to do the dad life.
Yeah,
there.
it's almost done. But yeah, we'll be hitting some comedy harder soon. What about you, man? Let's catch up.
I have been slammed. So before that, we had a great hang.
Mike.
Mike Eaton.
I skipped that one.
Yeah, we had Mike Eaton, Corey Smith, and Matt Bellick from Austin, Texas. What a good hang. What a fun yet weird show. It was the first time we had like touring comedians. Like, it was on our night we do the open mic, but we were like, hey, let's do an hour book show. So it was me, you, and those three. We had a stupid good hang, really fun. And then we did the open mic. And then the next week, we were almost passing each other. So I was supposed to be in New Orleans the Thursday, but that show got canceled. And then Friday we had.
Did the show say something bad?
Huh? Yeah,
I'm trying to heat this episode up, bro.
So, that's fine.
I feel like I was stale for the last 3 minutes.
That's
okay.
That's okay. Just say little girl soccer again one more time, and then Jeffrey Epstein appears.
Bring him out.
He's dead. Ghost Roast.
Oh, that's right.
So actually, the 2 nights after the Mike Eaton show, I was in Lake Charles for Stoned versus Drunk versus Sober. We brought that over there, which was a great show. Really good.
That was the biggest sold show there.
Biggest Stoned versus Drunk over there. So that was great.
Well, I think it was the biggest show they've done
I'll take
at
that
Library
too.
Riot.
I'm killing.
I may be wrong there, but I think it did more than every show they've had there before.
Yeah. Good. I'm taking it. Yeah, that's fine.
I think so. Well, yeah, we win.
So that was great. And then I hauled butt back because I had to sleep because the next day, me and the First 5 podcast guys, Michael and Drew, we headed over to Austin, Texas. ATX. We got a baller little Airbnb that's like.
I saw pictures. I'm jealous.
Right on 6th Street, but like maybe 5 blocks from the major clubs. We got in. Walked down. Shane Moss and his crew put us on the guest list because he was doing the show at Esther's Follies. So we got to see his 420 show for the Better Trip,
nice.
Which is good because I kind of saw most of it here. Then there was the whole thing with Deej and everything. It was just a night, so I got to watch that. Then we went down to the Mothership. They put their names on the list for the mic, but I was doing. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, they put their names on the mic, but they also bought tickets that night for the open mic. And then I got in line and got to see old Dave Attell. So I got to watch again, it was great. Next night, same thing. They went sign up, and then it was the Monday, so they got in line for Kill Tony, and then I went to do the Mothership because I did the crew show over there. Had a 5 minutes. I'm very hard on myself. I had 5 minutes that I walked off, and I was like, "There's nothing else I could have done better that night," and I was great. That was it. And then after that, I forget what. I went and watched Kill Tony. I went walk downstairs, and I was like, "Wait, I'm a comic here," and I went stand in the back on the back wall and watched the whole thing, which was great. and then we came back the next day. And then the next week, while when you were with Neil, I had Karen Feehan and Aaron Putnam. He's out of Chicago. Karen's from New York. We had a Friday night show here.
And we hooked up after.
Great show. Well, not us. Okay.
Well, me and Karen. I would never say that.
No, so we went to
Me and Aaron.
yeah, you and Aaron definitely. We went to Cafe Cottage and had a hang, and Neil came. Next night we were in Lake Charles, so me, Karen, and Aaron had a good time.
Oh yeah, we swapped.
Yeah, we swapped cities, not people, and so we did that, and
you
then
know how we do.
you know what we'd be doing. And then on Sunday, we took off to to Austin, and so because Karen was headlining the Vulcan that night, and so dropped them off, went check in my hotel room, met up with old Travis Elkins, used to be out of Baton Rouge. He was in town for work. We went eat, had a good hang, and then I was like, I got time. I'm going to go sign up for let's see if I can get on the Mothership open mic. It's a shot, 200 people, let's see. And then, so at 6:30 when the list comes out, I finish smoking a cigar, I go walk up, and I'm like, there was a guy, number 2, his name is Matt Rifle, and I was like, I forgot my glasses, man. I got like, Rifle, what? And then I look down, and I see Aaron's name, and I was like, whoa, and I'm trying to text him, and I was like, JP Leonard, oh shit. And then I was just like, and so scrambled in, had a 3-minute set. Great. Had no problem. I was number 8, then walked down, and then went to the Vulcan. I had my old childhood friend from Morgan City who lives in Austin. We hung out, did the show over there. It was packed. We had Liz Splatt. We had a couple other comics on the show. It was a hot lineup, but it was just a slow night. And then everyone disappeared, and so it was just me and Karen, and she had a spot at the Mothership. So we walked down, went to watch her perform, watch a few comics, and then had a good hang, went eat, and then I drove back.
What'd you eat?
We went to, what's it called? I had a burger.
Whataburger.
No, it's this
McDonald's.
place. I just forgot the name of it.
Fuddruckers.
No, it's a bar. It's a dive bar where
Legends.
Oh God damn it! They haven't made it to Austin yet.
The belly to belly.
Anyway, I'll think of that later. We went to belly ball, and we all got hepatitis H. And then I came home Monday, and then on Wednesday I had Chris Porter here. Whoo, that dude's tall. He's like 6'4".
I did not know that.
Yeah, like I was like looking for this dude. He was like Joe List tall, and we had a good hang. Super great dude.
Joe List is not 6'4".
He's 6'3".
Is he?
Yes. Dude.
No.
Yeah, these are some tree trunks, man.
I did not notice.
So we had a really good show here. I forget who was on that show. Drew was on the show.
Yeah, Drew Gotcha.
And then we also had Evan Rabelais because he was in town. Shout out to Evan. He's in Austin. And then the next night, I had brought Chris Porter to the Manship, so it was me. I put old Aaron Heltz from Baton Rouge on that show. He had a great set. Evan Rabelais was also on this show. Murdered. Can't tell you how good. It was a complete opposite from the night before. It just one of those magical nights. He did great, and he needed to do great to redeem himself, but also because he ran so many like shows with the improv stuff over there, and he used to have his other show over there.
It's like a homecoming.
Yeah, so it was great. Chris did great.
Well, great.
Came back. The Manship loves it. They're so happy for comedy. They want more. So we're looking at bringing
Tyler
more.
Arceneaux has some openings.
Never heard of her. So I'm very happy on that. And Chris had a good time. And then the next night was Gator Cove. We're back at Gator Cove.
Hell yeah, that was fun.
And look, it's a weird thing. It's coming off of East and everything. It was the slowest show we've had there by 2/3, 66%.
Still pretty hot.
But it was a great show.
Yeah.
We got an old Cajun man, everyone harassed, and
oh God,
the best drinks in town. And then this past Sunday, here in the club, we had Caleb Sinan and Dave Ross, and they're the best. We had a good hang, stayed in the lobby and hung out, and then
how was the turnout for that? Rough.
And now we're here.
You just glossed over that one.
Sorry, I didn't hear you breaking up.
It was bad.
It was just slow, man.
Damn.
I think
Sundays though, right?
Yeah, it was a Sunday, but also it's just like this is like it wasn't the school system spring break because they changed it a week early for state testing, but everyone else around other parishes.
Yeah.
Plus you had Boudin Fest. Plus you had WrestleMania. You know how those
That's
comedy
honestly,
nerds.
that's what it is right
I
there.
know.
WrestleMania, dude.
So it's just been a weird thing. So we're ready for this week. Hopefully this picks up. But yeah, so that's it. That was the recap. I put a lot of miles on my car. I had some great sets in Austin. I'm tired.
yeah.
But shall we get to our interview?
Let's move right along.
Let's move it. We had the wonderful Gareth Reynolds. What a hot show.
Very fun.
Yeah, we had a
We
hot
would
show.
have done some more time if he would have remembered that he was recording a podcast with us that night.
And he acknowledged it. That was great.
It's funny. We had fun.
No, he's super fun, dude. The show was great, and we had a nice, good 20-minute chat.
Yeah.
So this is Gareth Reynolds.
Quick and easy.
Bam.
You're okay. You're okay. You did this. Yeah. I like how you guys were just drinking without me for the
We're
show.
done.
I know, yeah. You're like, okay, so pretty much this guy just leaves us drinking.
We ordered you a drink, but we drank it.
Yeah, no, clearly, yeah.
We split it between us.
Yeah.
We shared a cherry.
Yeah, great.
I tied it with my
sherry.
tongue. Oh, no.
Hey.
We're cooking. Were we recording?
Yeah, we're recording. This is going on.
That's got to be the intro. That was.
Check your mic. Make sure you're good.
I don't know how do I? What's
Oh,
my?
you just, like,
yeah,
talking.
it just talk.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm happy
Does
here.
it sound good?
Yeah, to me, it sounds like my voice. I'm used to this sound. Yeah, no, little. I can not hear. There you go. Beautiful.
Reverb. All right. Tyler, you want to start us?
Yeah. Welcome to We're Dying Down Here, episode. Who the fuck knows?
It's up there. We're in the teens now.
Yeah, we're with
so-
Gareth Reynolds.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? We're organized as usual and on top of my scheduling as always.
Yeah, you nailed it, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yep.
you're in the right city, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, you guys kept me waiting a little while, but I'm pretty chill about it. So.
We're fine. We're fine. So, big question. First time in Louisiana? Or-
Not in Louisiana. First time in Lafayette.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I knew that. But
Yeah.
What is your Louisiana experience prior?
New Orleans a week for work, and then I think that might. Oh no! And then I did a little. I was somewhere else in Louisiana
No
around
stand-up.
that same time. Never done stand up
Nice.
here. No.
Well, welcome.
No, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're dying down here.
Yeah, no.
Literally, our,
Great. I can't wait to further kill the vine.
our healthcare is shit, so no, it's fine.
Oh, you're Americans.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and your Wikipedia says you're British American. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because your family, mom, parents.
Yeah,
right?
both
Okay.
parents English
Nice.
immigrants.
Is that
yeah.
where the special title kind of comes from?
Yeah, there's just a little bit of talking about, like that in general, my childhood. And it was one of those things like my special's called England, Wheat, and the Rest because those are England and wheat are two important things. And yeah, it just was like as I got older and I was, like as I was doing more and more stand-up, I was like, I guess my childhood was fairly interesting being like an English kid in Wisconsin. And then, yeah, and that's just kind of where I was like, all right, I'll just roll with that.
No
you know?
accent.
No, when I was a
Parents?
kid, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, mother's strong, very strong. My mother still lives in England. My father is in Wisconsin, and so his is a little weirder versus straight up English, but my mother is full on. Like,
What does she call cookies?
biscuit?
I tried to adopt that, but we have too many biscuits down
Ah,
here. We have
Yeah,
real biscuits.
no, right. You can
Yeah.
get confusing.
Yeah, if
There's
you-
some of that material is in the special.
If you're like,
just
waitress,
very-
can I get a cookie biscuit? She'll punch you in the face.
No,
and
there's
then,
like a bunch of that stuff where you'll just be like, and even as a kid, I remember when I said there were a couple things, like two things I could never get straight was one, I could never get paper towel was kitchen roll, and I always was like, kitchen roll is the American one, and people were like, what the fuck is kitchen roll? I'd be like, God damn it, it's paper towel. And then the other one was swimsuit. This one still fucks me up. Swimsuit, we would call it a bathing costume. So I would be like that. I'd be like, do you guys have those, or should I bring my own bathing costume? And people would be like, I'm sorry, what, you're going to wear a costume for the bathing?
I think we're done with this episode. Thank you
Yeah,
for
it
coming.
was pretty
No,
bad. And
No, we called it. I remember I grew up on a bayou, but paper towel, or you also call it a kitchen roll.
oh,
Like,
really?
it's
Never
Just,
heard of that.
Oh, okay.
just weird, but
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I live.
I would think
Yeah.
a kitchen roll is something you flatten dough with.
Yeah, or like what Martha Stewart would play.
Yeah.
Like in a movie. She's got a kitchen roll.
So you have a wonderful podcast called The Dollop,
Yes.
which is huge widely successful.
Yes.
And I just finished listening to the Rory Scovel episode, which I've listened to when it first came out, but I revisited that the other day.
1904 Olympics.
Yeah. Rory he's one of mine, so I was
Rory
my
is
favorite.
the
So I
best.
listened to it again. And then you also have another podcast called "We're Here to Help" with Jake Johnson, who I was nerding out about him. That movie Self-Reliance. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize that was him. Like I don't know people's names.
Him.
you know?
He wrote and directed it too.
Yeah. It's bonkers. Crazy. Crazy.
No, he's very very good at what he does.
And then y'all wrote a book. And all right.
Yeah, we have a dollop book called The United States of Absurdity. Yeah. You know, I mean, I just got into it. I really got into I mean, the dollop is literally on the brink of 10 years.
Wow.
Which is totally fucking insane. And, you know, I mean, I just kind of like, it was kind of just like started by desperation, really, you know?
Yeah.
Like Dave, the guy I do it with, we both were like, you know, like trying to grind out and...
What were you doing at the time when y'all started it?
Well, I'd been doing another podcast a little bit, but I believe at the time I was mainly writing. I was like, I think I probably had started writing on some shows, you know, nothing that I was like freaking out over, but pretty much writing and was going on the road featuring most likely for Steve Byrne. So things were like...
No big deal.
No big deal. So things are like decent, you know, but the dollops like in the first few years changed how I could do stand up pretty quickly. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's such a great concept. Like when I first learned what it was, I was like, I'm kind of jealous because how funny is it? Like, you know, come at me with something I've never heard of and let's riff on it and teach me, and you know, it's just such a cool concept.
Yeah, and it just kind of organically happened, and then that has become a trope in podcasts. Like it really has.
Really?
It's like
totally dollop ripoffs. All
well,
over.
I mean, I like you
Baby
know what
dollops.
the fuck. I mean, you gotta like whatever. You know what I mean? You got to
smidge.
do the best.
Yeah, no doubt.
But no, it was we were not like we have an amazing idea.
Right.
It was like Dave knew history, I didn't know shit. We didn't know each other that well, and then it became apparent very quickly when I said Benjamin Franklin was president at one point that he was like, "Is this man a legal adult?" And then it was like, "Oh, okay, so it's a little more. There's a bit more of some gamesmanship in the fact that I don't know, which you know I'm very comfortable with, and that just kind of is how it became, and then I." You know, since then have been on other podcasts, and while doing them, I've been like, you guys you took the dollop and you just made it about like crime or whatever. You know what I mean?
They call
like,
it the smidge.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything that went with dollop, but all right.
Yeah.
British.
We're riffing down here.
No, I mean it's huge. I mean it's like I remember listening to that before I knew like, oh, this is a comedian, like a stand-up, like because there's so many podcasts that go in the mainstream. And I had a friend, he's like, "Yeah, you don't know that podcast?" I'm like, "No, I've listened to it." And then I put the association together, but it's widely huge. And I think we had Chris Fairbanks, who has beautiful man, beautiful man. His stand-up is crazy. But
he led with beautiful man. Though.
I know.
He is a beautiful man.
I should have went there. He's all right. Not my type.
Priorities.
He's got an artificial hip. I like him real.
Hollywood.
I like
I had my hip done.
I like organic men.
I went a bit too big. Jesus, Chris.
Sorry.
That's crazy. I can't. Well, what do you want?
I'll tag him in this. But we had him here a couple years ago, and he was saying, he's like, yeah, my whole stand-up, all my shows have changed because he has that podcast with Karen from Making Murder.
Do You Need a Ride,
and he's like, watch. He's like, just look around the bar, and you can tell the most awkward people, and they're here for the podcast. And he goes, and I'm like, really? And he goes, watch those two girls. He goes, they're going to hand me gift cards. And within like 2 minutes, they're like, hey, how's it going? And they slide gift cards like it's a drug deal. And then they just like nerd out. And it's like, oh, but like.
I'm not getting a lot of gift. I'm not going to lie. I don't get enough gift cards.
Yeah.
So it must be that hip. They're probably trying to like give something towards it.
It's for ointment, so
it's
fine.
That's
yeah,
right.
But,
Yeah, it's salves.
Yeah, but like, so that like, did that really like kind of boost your sales and just everything?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It at least gave me a thing. It was like, you know, I'd been trying to do versions of whatever that could be for a while.
Yeah.
And then it was like it actually did give me like you know, for lack of a better term, like a hook. Like when I got my agent, the great TJ Mark Walter.
Yep.
He he basically was like, yeah, I knew him a little bit, but he was like, yeah, I like the dollop. I'll sign you, and I'll start booking you. And then it's taken me pretty much the whole time that I've been doing stand-up to try to convert podcast fans into stand-up fans. You have some who go along for the ride right away. There's some people who are just like, oh, fuck, I'll, whatever. But then in the past few years, I've really maybe felt more comfortable doing a little more of just like the having no real plan to start the show and just riffing and shit. And I think that has helped too. So, but the dollop like it gave me, people to sell my stand-up to, which before that, I was just like, I'm pretty funny. And clubs are like, yeah, we don't give a fuck,
Do you find the awkwardness of those people coming to see you, like knowing you from the dollop, and then they're in the audience and they're just not used to stand-up? I mean, there's a lot of people that find out about shows here because of a podcast, but they don't go. A lot of people don't go to stand-up, especially in markets that don't have it.
I think there's something to that. I mean, I'm always just very happy that people turn out. The only thing that I do notice a little bit is that people will be maybe a little more chatty. Like they're maybe used to, like talking, like going like, that was a good idea or whatever. What I mean? Yeah. Whereas like,
can you pause? I gotta pee.
Yeah, literally. I had a woman in
like while you're performing.
Yeah, like sort of. I had a woman in Raleigh, and I was like, whatever's doing my show, and like she literally stood up and she was like, it's a little loud. And I was like, I'm not AirPods. I was like, are you fucking serious? And she felt bad. Like she messaged me and she's like, sorry, it was just loud. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not like in your car like talking to Siri. Like so there but for the most part it's fine. I mean, for the most part it's like super enjoyable, and fans make you feel like you have a home game.
Yeah.
So the more you get of that, the better. But it's totally changed the game. My new podcast too is like, it's helped. It's bringing new people to what I love to do is outside of podcasts.
I mean, being 10 years out when y'all did that, there was a podcast wasn't what it is now.
No.
So you were kind of sticking out a little bit.
Well, I mean I mean, even then it was like starting a podcast was kind of like, I don't know. But then now it's nuts. Now it's like, Jesus Christ.
No, everyone's got
Was stand up like your first foray into entertainment? Is that what you wanted to do?
No, I mean, I think as a kid, I loved watching stand-up. Like, when I grew up, like, Comedy Central was just kind of starting. And, before they found their own shows, like, they just fucking ran stand-ups.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I just, like, even when I watched, I remember the first time I saw Mitch Hedberg on, like, I think it was Premium Blend or whatever. And, so that it really, like, but even then, I would go to Blockbuster and rent, like, Louis Anderson specials or whatever. I really loved stand-up, but I I really wanted to do more theater and stuff like that. And then so in Milwaukee, where I grew up, there was this thing called Comedy Sports, which was like improvised, like Who's Line games, basically. And I found out about that through my high school. Like they had high school leagues. And I found out about that, and I started doing that. And once I kind of crossed the threshold of feeling more comfortable doing that, then I really was like, oh, shit, I love this. I really loved improv. And then I would go to this place where I would do it, this place, Comedy Sports, and Dan Harmon, who does Rick and Morty, he was in it. And so I would watch some of these, like Rob Schraub, who also works on that show, like... these guys do sketch and stuff like that, and they would have 300 people there, and I would be like, holy fuck, like blew my mind, and I just was like, I want to do that. I want to do a version of that. And then when I went to college, I started to write sketches and do improv and study theater, but I didn't get into stand-up until I was probably like right around 30. So I probably had about...
And were you already doing writing
gigs? And
yeah?
sketches and improv, and I, like I said, I was friends with Steve Byrne, who kind of was so great as far as taking me to the Comedy Store, and the second that I saw that these people had huge audiences, it made me doing my shows for 50 people or even 20 people just seem like I really loved improv, but I was like, nobody cares.
Right.
I kind of had this revelation, like, you know what, you're just going to have to fucking start doing stand-up.
Yeah, develop an act. So you got, so it was not necessarily a labor of love in the beginning, but
no, I really struggled with like how to do it because I was very used to getting on stage with a group.
Right.
And so, you die. If you bombed, you could all commiserate.
Yeah.
Bomb together.
Yes.
Blame the other guy.
Well, or whatever. At least be like, hey, well, that fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Instead of like coming off stage alone and having other comics kind of be like, that's like
that was
trying
fun.
to hurt you. Yeah, like trying to competitively hurt you. So I had to like get hurt many times, as we all do. But I took it really hard, and so it took me a while to kind of fight through that.
That's actually good to hear because I think you are an excellent stand-up.
Oh, thanks.
Based on what I've seen, which a lot of people who get into stand-up out of like necessity rather than love for it, that translates to the stage, and I can almost see it sometimes. But with you, you're great at it,
Well,
so.
it took me a minute to, it took me a minute to realize, like, there was stuff. I mean, like, I had stuff, and I started, I started having good sets, but I still didn't really have my version of it. You are kind of doing an impression.
Absolutely. For a while.
Of someone else, and I was writing, in longer chunks, and I didn't have the short joke. So if I was in the middle of a fucking thing and it wasn't going well, I was like, we have 4 minutes
Here we go.
left.
Buckle up.
Yeah, I mean, you guys hate it now. Get ready,
That's the burden of long bits. Once you commit, because your punchline's way at the end. If you can't.
Yeah,
jump.
well, even if you have a murderous part of the joke, I remember one time I was at, I think I was at the Irvine Improv, and I was telling a joke that did fucking murdered, but it did take a minute. And I mean, it was like 400 people, and I was feeling the minute of silence.
Just getting through it.
And I'm like, I go, it gets better. And this guy goes, it better. and everyone laughed, and I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? And
We'll
then I was
see.
like, yeah.
He's here tonight, by the way.
Oh, good. I love that guy.
Bring him out.
Tommy!
It's too loud.
Yeah.
So besides, stand up, you wrote Arrested Development, You're the Worst, which not you, but the show, one of my favorites.
I'm also
That's
the worst.
Okay, well, it's also
fair.
he's not here.
Yeah.
No, that was great. And then I rewatched the last special today, England, Weed, and the Rest. Did I get that right? Yeah.
Yep.
It's so hard. And that was one. You got a clown in there, and then the old lady, like, that was a beautiful special, and I felt the ending was so strong with everything, and I paused it. I went back on like 2 or 3 sections, but let me just say the shower bit with the hair, that's beautiful.
That's one of the most relatable things he's heard recently.
You must know my wife, because that was
I do.
that was
I do.
Oh boy,
No.
let's bring her out. Too loud.
A little loud on it.
But no, yeah, it was.
Well, thank you.
It's freaking
Yeah,
great, man.
I appreciate it. I mean, that was one show.
Yeah.
And that was not
Portland,
how,
right?
It was in
Yeah.
Portland, and it was not how I wanted to do more than one show. But I had this ambitious plan, and then Luke, who's opening for me, he directed it, and as we watched it, it's not the perfect show, but we were like, this is pretty good, so we went with that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for
What
doing
was your
this.
favorite part of the special?
I did not see the special.
I gotta go. No.
I saw
thank
the
you.
2
Sorry.
episodes of Arrested Development you wrote.
Christ. Jesus Christ. You were like, yeah, let him be late. Fuck this guy. Let me tell you a little something about how the writing game works on Arrested Development. You don't know which episodes you write until you watch the final, and you go, I wrote that one?
We just assume you wrote it all.
All the good parts.
Okay. The development part.
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
I do want to know though. Did in that process were you working with like Jason Bateman or Michael Cera at all?
Yeah, a little bit. More Michael Cera than Jason Bateman.
I just have no insight into what it's like to be a writer, so like I don't.
For the most part, you normally don't work with the actors, but
That's
on a
what I
show
was
like
wondering.
that, they're so good. I'd actually worked with Will Arnett on another show, his show, this show called Flaked, for a season. So I knew him pretty well. That's how I met Mitch Hurwitz, who was the guy who created Arrested Development. But for the most part, they would come in a little bit, like Will would come in or Michael would come in. But for the most part, eventually, it is really hard to keep track of what's going on that show if you're in the room all the time. So someone jumping in and be like, wait, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And Mitch would be like, we don't have time to walk you through what's happening. But but you know, they were present. They wanted to know what was going on, and then you see like Jason Bateman is obviously a fucking phenomenal creative talent, and
Right, yeah.
you know,
Can only
and
imagine.
Will is too. Will is like such a smart,
Yeah.
funny
in a
writer,
different way
yeah.
than Jason, right? Jason to me is one of the best straight men, like in
Oh,
comedy.
you couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
You too,
that,
buddy.
That
Yeah.
show. That show without him, I don't know how it exists.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I would say of all the actors, like if I had to pick a favorite, he's easily top 2, just because
Yeah.
everything he's done from that to Ozark to you name it. It's just
Well, it's
beautiful.
actually their podcast Smartless has a great episode with Mitch Hurwitz on it.
oh nice.
Where they, you know, because they all, you know, they're all so famous now, but
Yeah.
but they really needed the break. I mean, that show changed everyone's life. Even
Yeah.
Jason, who was like a Hollywood lifer. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Did you watch the documentary that when they took it on the road, the podcast?
No, I didn't. No.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
yeah. Just
I
the
imagine.
different guests and
Show
everything.
is
And they had
fucking
one that just like bombed. You want to talk about like it was a long
yeah.
episode, and they talk about it after. And I'm like, and they aired it, and I'm like, I hate to be that person.
No, it is doing a lie. I mean, bombing in general is fucking crazy, but a podcast bomb is Dave and I on the Dollop have done a lot of live shows, and I'd say we probably have seriously had probably 3 or 4 where we're like that bombed.
That bombed.
So
Yeah,
we're
that's-
pretty lucky.
I'm scared. We're talking about doing
Yeah.
our first live
Yeah.
one day, and it's like that is a fear of mine.
We've
For
had
sure.
very few bomb, but man, when they have, it's actually very reminiscent of the
Yeah.
improv backstage
Nice.
what we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
before, where you are
Yeah.
kind of like, whew,
We did it together.
that hurts, boy, that hurts.
You're in front of people, and it's recorded.
And
So
it's
you
recorded,
have- you
and
have
you're like
evidence.
looking to another guy like, help.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this real
Yeah.
quick. Where can everyone find you and all
I'm
that
in
good
Lafayette
stuff?
right now.
All right, tune in.
At the DoubleTree
the
room
DoubleTree,
69.
699, yeah.
420.
That's where you had
I
another.
couldn't think of a funnier number.
Did you get
Yeah.
the cookie at the desk?
Huh?
Did you get the free cookie at the desk?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I like how you're like passing that off as you're part of that system.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
stayed- yeah, my
I
first
baked them.
double. My first time in Lafayette. It's not my first double. Yeah, I pulled some strings. I got you. They give you the cookie I set up for you.
I was like, he comes in, you give him a cookie.
Hey, they're like, we do already, sir. That's on me. You let them know.
Why don't you put that in the jar and heat it up? Yeah.
You better what? Do it for everyone. On me. Who the fuck is that guy? You know, you can find me at Reynolds Gareth on social media and listen to the Dollop, and we're here to help. And go watch my stuff on YouTube. Just look up my
Subscribe to
name.
the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw
really
a great sketch, The Oscars.
Oh yeah.
Edited by Preston Tompkins, maybe,
Yeah.
a friend of mine.
Oh, you know that?
He's
Yeah.
come down here to do some shows with
Yes.
us.
Preston is working his way up in the weird little
Yeah.
business I've created
That's
for
awesome.
myself. Yeah.
That's
great.
great to hear.
Preston is awesome.
Heck
awesome.
yeah, shout out.
And he tweeted his asshole.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's too loud.
Anyway,
check
check
it
it
out.
out, and we'll be right
Aaron
back.
Feehan, Preston Tompkins.
Yeah, there you
Number
go.
one asshole comics.
There we go. Yeah, Preston Thompson. Yeah. You're afraid of the spotlight. He's afraid of the brown hole. We'll be right back.
I'm gagging down here. All right. Gareth Reynolds, everybody.
Thank you so much.
All
Hey,
nice
thank
and
you,
easy.
guys.
Thanks to our sponsor, Ounce of Hope Aquaponic Cannabis Company. Ounce of Hope provides high-quality CBD and Delta-8 through an advanced aquaponics system for the utmost in quality products. Check them out at ounceofhope.com. And we are back.
We made it.
That was Gareth Reynolds from the Dollop Podcast.
Yes, sir. That was Gareth.
We should start a podcast called the Smidge. Like a dollop of sour cream, a smidge of...
I want to laugh.
No.
John?
I don't.
Well, that's all the time we have for John tonight. Anyway, let's get into it. With us, we have a special guest. We don't invite many
Non-famous people.
non-famous people. But
John's
Still,
Lafayette
but
that's a
famous.
little bit of subjective. I
if
think.
you Google
it is.
John, you
You're
will
right.
find enough articles about him. Welcome to the podcast, John P. Merrifield.
It's B. Merrifield.
Oh,
No, it
John
stands
B.
for,
Merrifield.
pretty good at comedy.
Booty good at comedy.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, John?
Oh, you know, and I love that you pronounce my name like it's supposed to be with a hard 8.
Yeah,
John.
John.
Not too much Jason and Tyler.
It's a hard R on the end.
Tyler.
Oh, this podcast is going down.
Right.
Why are you here? No.
I was about to ask you guys the same goddamn thing.
We brought John in. So, John, tell us, you run Oof Comedy. Is that how
Yeah.
you pronounce it? Oof? You have to say it like that? Or?
You pronounce it. I think it's more of a oof.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like oof.
All right.
Like that joke you told earlier.
And most of John's jokes.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's kind of the idea. Is like I like the comedy that makes you go oof.
Yeah.
And so that's what I call my production company.
Can I say that
It's oof, period.
Yeah, it's
I
period.
hate the period personally.
I understand.
Because it makes
You
it
must
so
know my
hard
wife.
to like
Thank you.
to like write in a way that makes me comfortable. Like if I'm like using it in a sentence, I'm like, I want to put it at the end of the sentence so that I don't have to put the period.
Yeah. In the beginning, the page was just oof, and so the period helped it be more taggable because I didn't want people. I don't know. I just wanted it to be like when you use it. Don't put an exclamation. It's not a loud oof. It's a very specific kind of oof. And and so the period kind of forces you to use it in that way when you tag it. But and so I just kept it, and like also it differentiates it from other oofs that are out there. There's like another oof comedy that is like all
oof.
three
Yeah.
letters are capitalized and there's no period.
I used to follow Oof.
yeah,
then-
oof question mark. Yeah, oof hashtag at the end for some reason.
Yeah. There was also Oof Tilde. I don't know what that means, but
Oof tilde. I went to high school with oof tilde.
Anyway, you run a weekly open mic. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, me and Tyler run it. I guess I do most of the running of it. Tyler helps
doesn't
me
have
host
to
it.
walk.
Yeah.
Tyler is my co-producer, co-host, and if it weren't for Tyler, I don't think I could afford to keep running this shit. In the beginning, it was like very good. Like at the beginning, we were making enough at the door to pay the comics and then some. But you know, it just plateaued.
You paid him in dim sum?
And then some. Yeah.
I'll do it. That's delicious.
Yeah, now we're switching to pho.
Hey, we're budget conscious over
Yeah.
here at Oof Comedy.
I can't wait for comedy ramen.
Yeah.
All right.
This is I feel like we're on to something.
I
like
think, yeah.
we might
could
be
eat.
joking.
I'm hungry. So.
You know, I mean, like from having recently completed a tour, being paid in food is a lot more
Yeah.
than you sometimes get.
Yeah, it's so true.
So
oh God,
I'll take it.
Ain't that true?
Yeah, so yours is kind of structured like the Lafayette comedy mic. You know, it's you have a feature comedian, do some longer time, and then you have everyone else. you
Yeah, we
know?
try to do we'll be trying to do. It's kind of been weird since we moved to the new venue because I don't have all of my supplies organized yet. But we like to do the bucket pool format where everybody puts their name down and then we just pull randomly from a bucket. Like Kill Tony, but less rigged. The bucket part, at least.
But everyone gets to go up. It's just
Everybody goes up, and sometimes I'll put your name back in the bucket if I really don't like watching you do comedy. I'll be like, you can wait until after everyone else is done, and then you get to go up. This happens for very few people.
Let's name them. Okay.
And no, they don't deserve that any more than they deserve to go up earlier.
Fair enough.
And that I don't want them to deserve that. They don't deserve getting a name drop in that way. And
Dude, isn't it the worst when you're at an open mic and they put like the worst person in the room up first?
Sometimes I've done it to get it out of the way though, because it's like, all right, if they're gonna leave, they're not gonna do it after the first comic.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of staggering. I like to go good. You do a ratio.
Yeah.
I like to rate them a 1, 2, and 3s. And you try to go 1, 2, 3, or sometimes you just have 1s and 3s, and you do that. My co-host does not. She'll just throw 3s and then in a row, and then everyone leaves, and then we get to the 1s.
Yeah, I try not to do that.
We the ones, baby.
Shut up, Maggie.
What's fun about the bucket format is that it's like kind of makes it exciting because even the comics don't really know who's going to be next.
I like it.
And so I usually don't put anybody back just because they're maybe not that good. Unless it's just been back to back to back bombs, and then I'll be like, all right, we need something good, so I will put back names until I pick one I like.
Yeah. All
But
right.
for the most part, it's not rigged,
And-
right?
Right.
But once a month.
If you do want to pay me to put your name up sooner, that is always an option.
What you gonna say?
Oh, yeah. But once a month, the show is different now.
Yeah, so we just started this new format that's kind of a mix of two different shows that I like, that I amended to fit my own purposes. But it's me and Don Check Snyder went to Houston to do Axelrad. And this guy, what is it, Jeff Joe is his name, I think?
Yeah.
Runs that room. And really cool guy, really funny guy. And I don't know if there's a name for his show, but it's an open mic where he has everybody come up and do a minute, and then he has everybody come back and do 2 minutes, and then the audience votes on who gets to be booked on the next one. Or no, I lied. They're booked on the Monday show. And so Don and I did that, and Don won. And because I was with Don, Don's in a wheelchair, so I think they thought that I was just like orderly.
Son of a bitch.
I was like wearing my jumpsuit and just like pulling him around. And,
You're holding his medicine for him.
Yeah. So it looked like I was just like his orderly or something, and he was like opening for me on my tour. But it was kind of funny, and I mean, it was fun. It was like a whole lot of fun. I didn't really, care that I didn't win because I got to do some time, and we were otherwise not booked that night. And then Don wins, and they put him on the book show and then give me 7 minutes just because I'm with him. And that was
Nice.
cool. And I had a great set that night. I walked a lady. She did not like one of my darker jokes about suicide and decided to let me know that her mom was dead. She didn't say her mom committed suicide. She just said, "My mom's dead." And I was like, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Like, well, I just said cool. And she didn't like that either and left. Everybody else, and I was like, I don't know. I was on the mic. I was like, I don't know what I could have done better in that situation. Everybody's like, no, she's crazy. She's crazy. Don't worry. Oh, okay.
She comes here all the time and bugs comedians.
That was the vibe that I got. Yeah.
So, but because of that show.
Yeah, so I took that format, the 1 minute, 2 minute thing, and I created a show called 1-2 Punch, where it's like a mix of that and Kill Tony, where we have a panel rather than it just being one host like Jeff Joe. We have a panel of comics, which is you, me, and then a third, and we give everybody.
A third is a really solid comedian out of our area. We may not have mentioned their name yet, but.
A third, yeah. Yeah.
He's
third.
Venezuelan.
Albert Third.
A turd.
Albert Third the second. So a third comic is on the panel. We give everybody a minute. They do it. We give them feedback. Everybody gets to advance to the second round. We give everybody 2 minutes. Give them feedback again, and the three comics on the panel will decide who advances. And then for the third round, everybody gets 3 minutes, and the audience chooses one comic out of those to advance, they get to like fucking do a long set on the next show.
Oh, nice.
It's
All
fun
right.
stuff.
And then you also run Ghost Roasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about that a little bit.
And we'll plug that after a while, but give us the laydown of Ghost Roast.
Yeah, basically it's like a dais roast mixed with like a roast battle format. You got 8 comics that are all dressed up as dead famous people, and it's weird with y'all sitting on either side of me. I have to decide who I want to look at, and I usually just end up looking at the camera.
That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, we have 8 comics all dressed up as dead famous people. They get to choose their own characters. So if you see anyone, you're like, maybe a bit too soon, John. Don't too soon, John, me. I didn't pick these people. But yeah, they pick their own characters. And sometimes, I guess it could theoretically hurt them to pick someone who is like, I guess we'll see, but like,
Yeah, it hasn't really happened yet.
Epstein won recently, and that was
That's a little touchy.
Yeah, I was touchy. He's going to be on the
He
one.
was touchy.
Oh my God.
That's who I'm going against.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
really? Over here? Okay.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers versus
please
Jeffrey
don't
Epstein.
lose.
I won't.
No offense, Sean. Not like I'm worried about offending you.
All the offense, Epstein. Tyler's been Macho Man, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
All the time?
Every single
Yeah.
time.
I'm riding my Kenny Rogers foam hat to the grave.
Yeah,
so,
I will. It's my
And then I was
thing.
like, I shaved. I was like, fuck. Like,
what are you gotta
I don't know.
grow?
I'm gonna have to get some cotton balls and glue them on.
What are you gonna do,
bro?
Yeah, you can just get a fake beard, like a Santa Claus.
It would
beard.
probably be. It would probably add a lot to it, actually.
All right.
Yeah, you can do like a salt and pepper Santa Claus. But you can like take some spray paint. And
Just cut it down. All right, I'll see what I can happen.
you already have Kenny Rogers' hair. Like,
Yeah, I know. Well,
give it back.
all right, he's dead. He don't need it. And so we brought you here, besides that, to talk about a little thing we are doing in a certain weekend in May 24th and 25th. And that is the second annual Couillon Fest.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
First one was a big success.
Yeah, it was fun. It felt like it was just like, hey, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
You did it. And it was like, all right, cool. And we had a gay old time.
Yeah, we
That
did. It
was
was
fun.
so gay, dude. A lot of burlesque, a lot of drag.
And Coleman Wilson.
No, there was none of that. Yeah. There was that. Yeah. The first one we had like comedy and music, and it was at a very popular music venue, the Blue Moon Saloon. They're like a worldwide recognized music venue, and next door to my house. Oh shoot, should I say that?
That's
Yeah.
fine.
People are gonna find me. I'm not telling you which house, but it's either the
The one
left
with
or
the
the
oof
right.
sticker on the mailbox.
Yeah. It's one of all the oof comedy signs. John Merrifield lives here, in neon lights above my door. But yeah, the Couillon Fest was fun. We did have music the first one. This time we have so many comedians. We just can't do music. Also, don't want to. Just it's so much more of a hassle. And the more money that we save on bands, the more I can pay the comedians who were on the show.
I mean, you couldn't do bands this year because you put it on a certain weekend, and it was like the anniversary of like not having bands. It's a little inside baseball.
I know where you're
there.
going.
Yeah, all right.
Oh my God. Speaking of that venue, that's where. So now it's going to be at Cité d'Arts.
Hell yeah.
And that is one of honestly the coolest, most underrated venues in town. It's got 3 stages, one tiny little stage, which is where we do our open mic every week. Then they have the second stage, which is called Second Stage, and it is kind of a medium-sized stage.
Sure.
And then they have their auditorium, which is like 100-seater, plus you can add chairs to the front. Their stage is so big that you could add 2 or 3 rows of chairs onto the stage and still have plenty of room for a comedy show. And that's great. It's really nice that the auditorium I like because it just reminds me of being like being on David Letterman or something. Like
It reminds me of like a nice high school play. You
yes.
know?
Oh yeah. Or like when. Yes. Exactly. Man, we didn't have.
And I'm saying that because like my oldest has performed there several times.
Yeah.
So I just like, I've sat in these seats before.
Yeah, Acadiana High didn't have a theater. We had to like either just not have a show in a theater, or use the cafeteria, or ask Lafayette High, our rival, if we could use their theater.
And hope it didn't flood.
Yeah.
So that is 2 nights. That is Friday, May 24th and Saturday, May 25th. So weekend passes. You can, for $40, you can get full access to all 6 shows. And there's 6 shows, 3 shows a night. Or if you wanted like a Friday or Saturday night pass, it's $25. But that gives you 3 shows. You can't beat that.
Oh no,
That's
yeah,
crazy good.
It is 3 shows. Yeah, it's 3 shows a day, a night.
7:30, 9, and 9:30. Except for Saturday, it's gonna be like at 8:45 with a wean-in process, I think.
Oh yeah.
And then who are some of the headliners you're bringing in?
Man, so one of my good friends, Jake Flores. He is. You might know him from Pod Damn America. He was on Chapo. He was on Drunken Chuckle's Family Hour.
His name is mentioned on Come Town several times.
Yeah. And the Friedland Show. Sometimes they talk about him on there. Anyway, he's a great guy. I like him, and he is going to be our Saturday night headliner, our Friday night. One of our Saturday night headliners. We have multiple headliners each night. Him and Patrick Devine are on a show together. Yep. Patrick Devine is a one-liner comic. He and I both do joke cards.
Yeah, Patrick's so funny.
He has a little bit different style than me, but super funny. Everybody I booked on this show, I am a fan of. Like, I am a legit fan of these people's comedy.
Patrick told me my Macho Man was good, so he is
there
good people.
Dan Alton is on one of the shows. I'm not
Friday.
gonna. I don't. Yeah, we could. I don't want to mix anybody
You
up.
gotta go to the website.
Go to the website. You'll see what shows these people are on. Dan Alton is super funny. He does nothing but tour.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And he's just the zaniest. Like, he looks like. Man, I don't even know how to describe. His comedy is just so high energy without being overwhelming, and he just keeps you engaged, and you never know what's going to happen next. He's a very goofy guy.
Yeah,
Very
he's a
goofy.
fun dude. Dude. We've had him a few times.
His merch is really fucking good. Some of the best merch I've seen Dan Alton has. Zach Peterson also. Zach Peterson's. Dan's out of
Kentucky.
Louisville.
Yeah.
And Zach Peterson is out of Omaha, Nebraska.
And he just released a new special, too.
Yeah. I recommend.
I
go
did
and
his
check that out.
podcast. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's. I like him. He's good vibes all around. That guy. Zaya Meads from New Orleans. I
Killer.
think she's the one local headliner.
Louisiana headliner.
Yeah. The one Louisiana headliner is Saya Meads. Probably, I mean, like, if there's anybody going places in this state, I gotta say it's Saya. I would love to see. I mean, I would love to jump forward a few. No, just Saya.
We're dying.
No one else.
We're dying down
I'm sorry.
here.
If there was anyone else, y'all wouldn't have a podcast.
Yeah.
But,
Ooh, sad emoji. Okay, go ahead.
man, it's gonna be
Just a little sad
It's gonna
emoji.
be crowded at this table with all the headliners when we do their podcast.
We have Joe Pettis.
Joe Pettis.
Pettis.
Joe Pettis is one of our long-time friends in comedy. Friend of the show,
Absolutely.
Joe Pettis.
Yeah.
Friend of the Oof.
Not-
We've had Underwear Comedy Tour twice.
He
down
doesn't do
here.
underwear anymore. He
doesn't wear.
He
He's
free
not
balls.
wearing
Yeah.
underwear.
He does the free ball comedy tour now. It's all ball comedy.
All ball comedy.
Godball.
He's
Damn, that's kind of
actually
good. I wish if I switched names, Oof is becoming all ball just so it can fully encompass the lack of women in the scene.
representation matters.
Please do comedy if you're a woman.
Yeah. Please.
We're dying down here.
We're dying for women in this scene.
Yeah, that's we're all dying for women. We're incel comedy, everybody.
Well, enough about my wife. Am I right?
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Joe Pettis.
Joe
Balls.
Pettis.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Balls.
Joe Pettis, comic, very funny guy out of Atlanta. He's very fun to work with. I only have worked with him with the Underwear Show, honestly, but it was a great time. And
Yeah, I opened up for him last year, or it's about 2 years ago, maybe on the North Shore. Great hang, great time, good
Nice.
comedian, very fun.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Did we book anybody else?
No, I was looking
think you
through. I
killed
think we
him.
got him. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Patrick Devine. You'll have 2 chances to see Patrick, so check him out. He specifically asked to be on 2 shows, and I made it happen for
I think
him.
that's a divine intervention.
No, I mean, yeah, he literally intervened.
And then also on Friday, we got Town Hall with Ken Edwards.
Yeah, Town Hall with Ken Edwards.
And then Saturday, the weaning process versus the plural noun improv battle.
They're gonna fight,
They're
Yeah.
gonna fight.
bro. I didn't know they were gonna fight.
It's gonna
Someone's
be a
get
bare knuckle
trapped in a
brawl.
box. Wait, that's mine.
Dude.
Never mind.
So they
which-
haven't really decided if it's gonna be, because with improv, like the members are like fluctuating sometimes. Not everybody can always be available. So if it's not enough people, they're just gonna like do a super group where it's all of them, and they'll divide that group.
They're just
between-
gonna battle royal.
They
but
should
it-
just pretend the other guys are there. That's improv.
That's there you go. That's
improv.
perfect. We'll just
That's improv, baby.
Yeah.
So that's May 24th and 25th, Cité de Arts. Tickets at LafayetteComedy.com.
So true. And we
Yeah.
we may add a 3rd show if ticket sales are good enough.
Okay.
Uh,
When?
To what?
To Ghost Roast.
Oh, the Ghost Roast the next night. Oh, yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah,
add
we
it.
may make the Ghost Roast Championships the 3rd day of the festival. We're just gonna see. We're gonna play it by ear because we still have to do the Ghost Roast semifinals.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to not say that it may happen. But you
But
also
it is scheduled for that day already, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah?
Is it? I asked you about it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Let me check my thing.
Well, we got next weekend first.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Tell you what, if it's not fine, edit this whole thing out, and then the people won't have to hear me saying.
That's
these
May
things.
26th. Yes, it's still on the thing. So yes, we can definitely do it. So.
And we will know who's going to be on that after this next coming Ghost Roast.
Yeah.
Because we have to pick the winners of the. There's 4 winners for each Ghost Roast for those who haven't seen one, and those 4 winners go to battle the previous 4 winners, and then those. It's a whole.
It's
how
an event.
brackets work.
Yeah, it's a tournament. Yeah, March Madness.
Yeah, this is May craziness.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got. Boy. Camera still on? All right.
It's gonna be May.
All right.
Mayesha.
Oh, boy.
Mela.
May something happen. I don't know.
Oh man.
Cool
Wait.
office.
Is that? It
Oh,
seems.
You hear that sound?
Yeah.
Johnny, you hear it?
Yeah, I feel it.
That's my hand. I'm sorry.
Oh, then no. What were you talking about?
I don't know. It's Hack Watch. You gotta put your hands in the air. Hack Watch. Just kidding, loser. All right.
Damn, that would have been funny. You can edit it to where I'm the only one.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. I'm gonna CGI. I don't know. Start with Tyler.
Oh man, me? All right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of rehashing an old topic today because it's fresh. I'm seeing it still every day, and it's eating at me. And it is not changing, being delusional about what you're doing. I am seeing some comedians doing the same jokes the same way with the same punchlines without changing and thinking that they're doing good.
Then when they're not
And
working,
they're
is
not.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Like so let's start having an honest conversation about what it means to do good, okay? Your jokes should consistently be getting laughs from like consistently more than one person. Like if your joke is not hitting it doesn't have to be a majority. I think a majority of the people in the room do not need to laugh out loud for your joke to hit. Anybody in the room needs to laugh out loud sometimes. But like also know the difference between that one pity laugh or that, a comic thinking that what's happening is funny so that the comics are laughing. You got to be aware and stop being delusional. Look, this is just the Truly's kicking
It's that
in.
Louisiana education.
Slurring my
kicking in.
words. I went to Como. Look, my high school ended in an X. It's similar to my last name.
Yeah.
It tells you everything you need to know. But no, just there's a lot of delusion still about people's ability. They're just not being self-aware, and I like to believe that I don't remember being like that.
Oh, that's funny you say that.
Pull it up, J-Mo.
Jamie, pull that up. No, I was just thinking that it is easy to say that because we've all been doing comedy for almost exactly 10 years,
Right.
Give or take a month or so, and I feel like when we were new, we only had so many jokes. And so it was really hard to try anything different because you didn't have a lot under your belt to try. You had to just keep doing the same stuff over and over again until you were forced to realize that it wasn't working. And it is hard when you're new to know which laughs are for the joke or just for the awkwardness of the situation, and whether or not the awkwardness being funny is enough. I think that a lot of new comics do need to try different ways to do the same joke because you're doing an open mics, and a lot of these comics are doing multiple open mics a week. You should not be coming back and doing the joke the same time every time if it's not working the same time, the same way every time.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
But yeah, and I agree with that. But I also think that there should be some room for these comics to figure that out because it's like it's like when watching a puppy grow. Like, it doesn't happen overnight. Like,
right.
It's going to be a very gradual
I grab
process.
it and stretch it. And
Yeah. And hopefully, and also
shit on
feed
the
it till it
floor.
grows.
another thing that and I'm not saying,
Grow, you bitch.
when we were coming up, also, Kill Tony was new, and Kill Tony was not 30-second clips on TikTok. We would sit and listen to like all these comics give
They
sage
gave actual advice.
Yeah. And that was, and I don't know if it even does that anymore because it's not really. It's just goofy
rarely
now,
like
which
that,
sometimes I kind of like it, but
it's
different.
showbiz.
Anyway, so we had a lot of. I mean, and it was good that we did because we were trying to run shows right out the gate, and all of us, and so. That feedback was very like crucial to our early development.
Yeah, move the mic stand, don't wear shorts. Like we adopted some pretty early on stuff.
But I didn't figure out about myself like what worked and what didn't until like my return to Lafayette. Honestly, I think when I came back to Lafayette, I had this thing in mind that I wanted to do, and I've been doing the hell out of it, and it's been really good. But it took me 8 years to figure that out. So yeah, I agree with you, and I also think that we should give some comics a break, but not that we're not. Nobody's like
fuck them.
Yeah, nobody's like, nobody's being hard on anybody.
Let me piggyback because mine's kind of related to Tyler's, but not. I'm all about giving people breaks. You know me. Jason's non-confrontational. I forgive a lot of people. I give them a lot.
I'm definitely more confrontational than you are.
Yeah. But I'm tired of people wasting everyone's time. And so you come in, you're new on the scene. One, I hit you with all the stuff, the little guidelines on the website. I talk to you at the show. Everybody, we've given advice to people. And there's very few people who do this, but they just sit there. There's people that I've seen do... maybe heard a repeat joke twice, and they've been doing comedy almost 2 years. And it's the same thing. Go on stage and just riff without a purpose. We had a guy a couple mics ago who didn't want to do a set, and he just got up there and started ranting about a topic, and it wasn't even funny.
Leave
and
Ken
it's just,
alone.
It's just...
Shout out Ken Edwards.
Jesus.
No, that I know that's
it's just like...
why do these people not come to my show?
No, they do.
No, they do.
He's talking about Alex.
Oh, God.
Too, I think.
No, not him. No,
Oh,
I didn't.
not
What
him?
even him? No, I haven't even met the guy
Yeah.
yet. Don't
Easter-
name him. So
Easter
we'll
Alex.
beep him out. No, this is
can bleep
this is
him out.
another dude.
He's talking about beep.
and then a female, which we know who that's. But like, it's just you're just wasting time. You don't go up there. You bring the show to a halt. You've not taken any advice from everybody, and used it. Like everyone's like reached out and reached out.
I think that if we're talking about just one, like if we're talking about the people who I think we're talking about, I don't think they're representative of the majority of people who would receive this advice anyway. Like,
so for me, it's like, and I'll say this because like this was a big eye opener for when me, Drew, and Michael went to Austin, because we went to a few mics and watched. I've been there, 3 times in the last month, and went watch. I went to observe a few things, not just like theme mics, just like regular, open mics or whatever, just to kind of, hang out, have a drink, but. That you see a lot more in bigger cities because you got a bigger pool of people, and it's like at some point you're like, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, but it's a good representation. Like here, if you take the percentage, it's equal to what we've got. It's just so much more. You see it in Houston, you see it in New Orleans and everything. But at one point, and this is something that we've kind of talked about as people who run shows, at what point do you say no? You're not going up, because you have that right, because it's like at a point you're like, you're wasting time, you're not getting a benefit from it, no one else is getting a benefit from it. So at what point, and I see you smiling, John, at what point do you tell this person you need to sit this one out and rethink some things? Because there's no rules. I'll say this, at my mic when I'm hosting, I give extra time to certain people, especially if it's a slow, because I know that, hey, they're actually working on something. So giving them 3 and giving this bozo 3 is not the same. So I'm going to be like, hey, everyone,
I don't think there's anything
I do the lineup, and I'm like, all right, everyone's getting 3. And then I go, before they go up, or, after the rules, I'll say, hey, by the way, you're doing 5, you're doing 7, Or I'll just say, you go to board, whatever, So have you stopped people from doing your show?
I've been trying. That's what I was going to say. I have been trying to get the feel on the scene and how they would feel about me banning this person from doing my show. Because despite the personal history I have with this person, it's just they add nothing to the mic. They add nothing. They actively take away in that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they walk people, and that's why I put them at the end if I have the ability to do so, because I don't want other comics to suffer because this comic doesn't want to try. Or doesn't know how. I don't even think it's a want to anymore. I think it's just doesn't have the ability to and doesn't have the self-awareness to see that.
I'm gonna push back on that because they've been given advice and tags, and it's not just one person. I can think of a few people, but they've been given advice and tags by multiple comedians, established comedians who have good sets.
Yeah.
Even when they started, advice like that, and that's at the beginning. It's like, you could ask Michael, Josh Jordan, Drew, anyone who's new on the scene, Brock. As soon as they get off, we're talking. We're throwing stuff after the show. Hey, what about this? That person has taken zero. And actually, the first time I ever heard that person get a laugh is because someone else gave that person a tag.
Yes.
And it's like, what are you doing? And then you go up there, you work, you were supposedly writing the whole time, and then you get up there and half your sets, and what, and I don't know, and it's just talking, So I'm with you. There's a few people I'm going to say, you don't need to come up tonight.
Yeah, and I would have to unblock them just to relay this message. But if
John,
you're
please
listening,
unblock me.
If you're listening and you think this might be about you, stop coming to my show, and stop doing comedy. Yeah.
I ain't telling nobody to quit, but I will say, if you want to get better and it's not working, then listen to the people.
I just think we're past that. I think that we've already given that message to this person, and it's not even. It's just like, okay, well, now you're just wasting. You're like, we are giving you the advice that you could use to potentially get better, and obviously, all advice is like subjective, and it's not unilaterally applied. But you take what you need from that advice, and you try to apply that. But this person doesn't take anything. Doesn't take anything at all. Doesn't change anything at all, and then keeps putting us through these god-awful, cringy sets.
And then I'm going to say there's other people, too, that I'm thinking in mind that will do the same things like this, but also will be like, so how do I get on this show? How do I get on, and it's like, what are you talking about? You have nothing to prepare.
Yeah, first, okay, so it shouldn't need to be said, but if you don't know whether or not you're doing well in comedy, just listen to the audience. And if you can't tell when you're on stage, you need to be recording your sets. But if the audience is not consistently laughing at the jokes you're telling, I'm not talking about it got a laugh this night, so I'm going to use that as a clip. Right. No, it needs to get a laugh almost every time.
Almost every time.
And then
when it doesn't, you need to be...
You don't have to throw it out, but change it. Change something, or put it on a back burner and come back to it one day. And
we all have jokes that don't land. But the jokes that are in our acts land almost all the time.
Oh yeah, and don't come to a paid show with unfinished material.
No.
Yeah, no.
I did that at Gator Cove. I turned off my camera first, and I made everybody hand me their phones, and I stole their phones.
We put them in the bag.
All right, was that just my hack watch?
Yeah, that was
mine.
That was ours.
That was mine. So now
holy shit, man, we got deep there for a second.
Yeah, no, I was glad to participate in the other in y'all's hack watch. We had a Trinity hack watch.
Yeah, it was all encompassing.
But I got good seasoning.
My hack watch is I do not like when comics pander to their audience. I don't like when you put stuff in your joke that does not add to the joke. It just lets the audience know that you're actually woke. Like, Tyler, you had a tag that you used to do in one of your jokes that I don't think do it anymore, but I think I've talked to you about it. It was when you used to do the joke about your daughter becoming a stripper, you used to say, sex work is real work. That's not what this joke is about. And I think that...
No, that's the wrong joke.
What?
So when I say sex work is real work, that's not what this joke is about. That's supposed to be a laugh, but I say that that's not during the stripper joke. That's during a different...
What joke?
Oh,
that's during my mom's...
Hoes.
That's intent to distribute these hoes. That's when I say that. And the reason I say that is because it leads into the next joke. If
but you used to say it before the stripper thing.
No, what I say is I believe sex work is real work, but I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because that's how that joke starts.
Yeah. But I feel like there was a time when it was just, it doesn't matter.
I've heard you say this before on another podcast, and I was like, you're wrong, but okay. Message received.
I have seen your set more than I've seen anybody's set.
But I'm the one who knows my material.
I don't think so. Okay, well, regardless, there's other comics in the
I
scene,
still
though.
say that, but I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it with intent. I don't say it as
But
pandering.
that's fine, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But when you just have a line, like, there's a certain comic from Baton Rouge that sometimes will, like,
We're
it's-
fucking
he's got,
calling
like,
them out,
he's
bro.
like half of the stuff in one of his bits is just to let people know that he has the right opinion about
Oh,
this.
yeah.
And I just don't think that's necessary. Like, if the joke is
Yeah.
funny, they will find out you have the right opinion by the end of the joke. Like, that should just be part of the experience of the joke, is that they
it's
learn.
got to come from a place of fear, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're scared that you're going to offend somebody.
Yeah.
And, like, listen, I am not one who thinks cancel culture is, like, a big problem, but I don't think that you should be worried about offending people, because you should be saying what you think is funny. And you don't think that stuff is funny. You're saying that because you are worried that someone is going to think that you're a bad person. And that should not be on your mind. Like, if you're not a bad person, then your jokes aren't going to make people think you're a bad person. I don't think, at least. I feel like, like a lot of the
No,
comedians...
you're 100% right.
A lot of the comedians that do, like, edgy material, they work it, they work it in a way that they're just saying that. Like, they're just saying that they don't actually believe that. And if there's any question, then they didn't succeed at their...
Yeah, if the joke's not good enough to stand on its own,
Yeah.
then it's probably not good enough.
There's people who whose host set is almost like a host set, like a hype up, like, who out there is married, and it's just like it's like a DJ at a party kind of thing. I know what you're talking about.
Asking the
That's
audience,
like a casual, that's
that-
like
yeah,
a
that's-
lowered version of
that's
what
not
he's
necessarily the
saying,
same thing. It's more like, it's like, man, I
Without
don't want to
saying
just say his bit.
No, don't do that.
But yeah, when it's just like when you're like, I believe that, or I think black people have had a hard time. Don't worry, I have the right opinion about this. And then you do a slavery joke. It's like, okay, maybe the slavery joke doesn't need to be done if you got to do all that first. Like, if you got to make sure that they know you're not racist.
If your joke isn't thoughtful and can't stand on its own, then it's just can't.
If you need to explain to them that, the joke is actually woke, then the joke's probably, like, not that smart or clever. But I do love to explain jokes sometimes. I think that's a separate thing.
That's not pandering, though.
No, that's the opposite, I think.
Yeah.
'Cause most people don't want me to do it. That was my hack watch. Don't
Hell
pander
yeah.
to your audience. Don't waste their time with anything, any filler. Trim the fat.
Yeah, and know your friends' acts before you criticize them.
I don't agree with that take.
Damn. Hack Watch Part 2. That was Hack Watch.
Hell yeah, hack
You
watch.
can feel free to misrepresent one of my bits now.
There's this one where he rapes a cat.
Oh my god, that's not exactly what happens.
Or is it? Let's ask the cat. Bring him out. Oh, we're cooking, baby.
Oh my
Only took us 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Want to give a big shout out and thanks to our sponsor, Gator Custom Graphics. They are a local full-service sign shop specializing in banners, wide format printing, and vehicle graphics. From your business card to your storefront, Gator has your sign and printing needs covered. Check them out at GatorCustomGraphics.com.
Now is time for Rex.
All right, I'm not starting.
Hashtag
I'll go
YouTube.
first.
Sorry, I was good.
YouTube.
YouTube. It took me too long, but
damn it. It's good, though.
I needed to say it.
It's good.
Put up a Mewtwo graphic when I. All right.
I had a whole Tinder Vittles thing too. It's time for Rex. My Rec. And I waited till it officially came out, but I've got to see this a couple times already. And it is Hot Cross Buns by my favorite comedian, Dave Attell.
Nice.
He hasn't put out a special, like a video special, in a long time. Like, he had Skanks for Memories is just an album. He put out Your Mouth's Not Pregnant, and then a few other things, but it wasn't like a full, like, that was like his last kind of full special. So it's been a long time, but Dave Attell is a road comic, and everyone's like, it's only 37 minutes, but he does short jokes, and that's what he wants, because he's just a road dog.
Yeah.
And he has so much material. It's just, this is what he decided to do at this time. But it's been overdone. I mean, it's way overdue, but...
It's been overdone.
It's been overdone.
Comedy's
Well,
overdone.
the people saying it's too short has been overdone.
Yeah.
But this special has been way overdue. I got to watch him 2 weeks ago, I got to watch him when I opened for him in February. He is the best. You get to see the recorder. You get to see him with his stupid do-rag, which I love. It's just funny. He takes off his hat. He's got a do-rag. It's just great. My favorite comedian, Dave Attell, Hot Cross Buns. Watch it. I've watched it 3 times already. It's phenomenal.
Nice.
I've seen him at least 7 times live smoking a cigarette in front of the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah. All the time. That's where he's at, on the stoop. Yeah.
He loves to do it.
All right, that was my rec.
What you got, John?
Okay, so I'm going to recommend, in the spirit of Couillon Fest, Jake Flores has a podcast called Pod Damn America, which I was a guest on one of the episodes, but that's not my rec. My rec is his spin-off podcast that he does with Louisa Diaz, who is New York-based. She's not really a comedian, but she is a comedy producer and a comedy fan. And she used to produce this show called Casual Sets. That's where I saw Shane Torres for the first time. That's where I saw Roy Wood Jr.
Nice.
Which those two, we did not know they were going to be on the show when we got there. Like, we knew a lineup and then a special guest. And so it was really cool to,
That's awesome.
Yeah, she produces, she used to produce these really cool shows. She's got a lot of really interesting insights and into the comedy world, which I think is like, I don't know, I just find it fascinating because she's not a comic, but she has like some really valuable insights into how comedy is perceived from the outside, from fans and stuff. And then Jake is a comic, so Jake puts in his 2 cents. I mean, like, they're, pretty equally featured on the podcast, but I like their energy. I like their chemistry with each other. They're like really good friends, and they both really respect each other and respect, I don't know, it's weird because they clearly have a respect for the art form, but not so much for the culture of comedy, which I can relate to in a lot of ways. And like, I don't know, we don't have to get into that, but the podcast is called Why You Mad? And they basically just talk about whatever has been bugging them lately. Usually it's about stand-up or stand-up adjacent. And then adjacent to Pod Damn America, Alex Patak, who used to be the 3rd host of Pod Damn, has a podcast called Quarators with Jeremy Kaplowitz, who used to be an editor for The Hard Times. It's called Quarators. And the premise is they just read Quoras, and they go on Quora.com and they read questions and people's answers to these questions, and a lot of them are very unhinged, and they just riff about it.
Wait, what's Quora?
Quora is what? That's actually the first thing they ask on their podcast. Like, do you know what Quora is?
They sound smart. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's a question. It was used to like Ask Jeeves, except the people asking the questions and the people answering them are all just members of the website. And yeah, they go and they like, sometimes they will have a guest, and then the guest gets to ask a question that they come back to in the next episode and see what the answers were. But yeah, it's real fun. I think Alex Patak is like a super funny dude. He's a comic. Jeremy's a comic. And I hope they hear this and have me on. Real fun shit.
I'm sure they're one of our 70 listeners.
Oh, I doubt it.
72.
They're trying to get theirs up to 80, so
Whoa.
Go and like and subscribe and follow. But yeah, 2 great podcasts, a bunch of great people running them.
All right, my rec this week is going to be a first-time special by one of my absolute favorite comedians, Ariel Isaac Norman, out of Austin, Texas.
Shout out.
She's one of Louis' openers. She's come through Lafayette several times. We've worked with her all over the place. Her special is called Ellen DeGenderless. It can be found on her YouTube. It can be found on Spotify, on iTunes. Every joke is a banger. Go check it out. She's poured her heart and soul into this. Ariel Isaac Norman.
Yeah. Isn't that like her username?
Ellen DeGenderless is her
or like screen name
her
or
Instagram
something.
handle.
Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
she's
absolutely.
great. Yeah, she
Ariel
reached.
Isaac Norman is her real name.
Oh, okay. Damn it. Well, all right. She reached out the other day, trying to come through like on the brewery show. So
heck
trying to
yeah.
get that.
No.
Lucia Bakehouse is a small batch from scratch bakery. Step into a world where traditional craftsmanship meets modern flair and indulge your senses in the exquisite artistry of their creations. From buttery croissants that shatter with each bite to innovative twists on classic pastries, Lucia is here to refine your pastry expectations. Visit them today, Lucia Bakehouse. Sorry, y'all. My bad. That was it. That was Rex. we got through Hackwatch, we got through Rex. Now it is time for dates and plugs.
Yep.
Oh shit, I do.
I'll go first since
Sure.
I got my phone pulled up. So this comes out on Sunday, which is April 14th. And this, if you're watching this coming week that it comes out, we have the it's sort of I'm calling it a festival just because it's fun to call, but it's the and even though I know what anniversary it lands on, it is the 420 Comedy Fest, 6 shows in 4 days. We're just calling that because
The Hitler celebration.
Oh boy, I was thinking something else.
Oh, it's Bike Day.
But there you go, Bike Day.
Bicycle Day is that's when Albert Hoffman discovered acid.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Oh, that's actually 419, which is the start of this. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
420's Earth Day, but it's also you guys. Yeah. So on Thursday, April 18th, we have the return of Mike Kaplan. We had Mike Kaplan in 2015. We haven't had him since.
And the opening for Mike is.
Hey, I'm gonna get to that. By the way, all 6 shows are taking place here in Club 337. Mike Kaplan. Opening that show is gonna be Maggie Shipley and no one else. And John Merrifield's going to be on that show. So Maggie, John, and Mike Kaplan, I'll be hosting it. That's on Thursday, April 18th. Friday night, April 19th, we got Robert Bobby Kelly. Why did I say it like that? Sorry. I wrote down Robert Bobby Kelly on my phone.
Kelly.
He is here for the weekend. So on Friday at 8:30, on that show is going to be me, Drew Gotro, and Tyler Arceneaux. Then on Saturday, 420, at 4:20 p.m., we have the very first live recording of We're Dying Down Here in front of a live audience. I almost said studio audience, a live club audience, and special guest Robert Kelly. So he has agreed to do that. That's going to be fun. That's a big get, but the fact that we're going to be live. And then on Saturday, that same day at 7 p.m., Robert Kelly's second show. And let me just say this. If you buy a ticket to see Robert on Friday or Saturday, you will get into the podcast taping for free. If not, if you just want to come to the podcast taping, it's $10. So again, you buy a ticket to Friday or Saturday for Bobby Kelly, you get into the podcast taping for free. And then the third show on Saturday, April 20th at 9:30 p.m., Stone versus Drunk versus Sober.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be a banger. We got a hot lineup. I don't even want to tell you who's on the show, but we got some comedians from New Orleans. We got some elsewhere. That's gonna be great. And then on Sunday, April 21st at 7 p.m., it's gonna be Ghost Roast in here. The semifinals will be in here. So April 18th, Mike Kaplan. 19th, Bobby Kelly. The 20th, live, We're Dying Down Here, Bobby Kelly and Stone versus Drunk, and on the 21st, Ghost Roast. That's all I'm doing. That's all you need to know right now. Everything LafayetteComedy.com, at Lafayette Comedy on the social medias, and you can find me at the JP Leonard on everything. Next.
I'll go. This will not be out then. All right. Yeah, so I'm on. I mean, you did all my dates. I'm on the Stone Drunk Sober show too.
yeah?
That he did not say anyone is on. I'm on that. So if you cannot, for some reason, join us in the other festivities that weekend and only want to go see me on Stone Drunk Sober, I don't know why you'd want to do that.
You're also going to be on Ken Saturday night on the Bobby Kelly show too. So
Not with Ken.
Oh, just Ken. Yeah, come on. But you're on the front.
Yeah, it's gonna be incredible. Actually, the only other thing, this is more shows with you, just more Jason shows.
That sucks, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I won't book you anymore.
You know what? You can find me at the Tyler A on Instagram, everywhere, YouTube, TikTok, Venmo. Find me, hit me up, send me a friend request, smash my subscribe button.
Smash
on
burger,
stuff.
subscribe button.
Oh, that'd be good.
I forgot to say 420 is also my cat's birthday. So happy birthday, Soup. That's what I want to say.
Is it really? Soup's birthday?
Soup's birthday. Please.
I'm allergic to
Venmo.
soup.
Okay.
I don't have lips.
I got no lips. All right, John, help us, please.
When will this?
We're dying down here.
When will
The
this be out?
14th.
The 14th. Okay. And do your viewers do any? Do they have time machines?
Yeah, they have all the time machines.
Okay. If you guys, if you're
If you're
listening,
at JP's 2016,
if you're listening from your time machine, I will be at Squeaky Pete's in Baton Rouge.
That's why I didn't say that one.
With Tyler and others on April 13th. And then today, if you're listening on the day this came out,
on the day we record.
this morning I was at the Blue Moon for a fundraiser that I am both running sound for and doing a set. It doesn't matter what the details are; it'll be already done. Thursday.
The worst date section we've ever done.
Jason already said this one, but I'm opening.
Tell us again.
I'm opening for Mike Kaplan
Who's on
right
that
here
show?
on this stage, and then after that on 4/20 I'll be in Lake Charles doing the You Look Like roast battle
Hell yeah.
against Ruben Egan. Don't look him up. And then on Sunday my ghost roast happens.
Ruben looks like Matt Strife.
The ghost roast happens here at the 337.
All right, fuck y'all.
Yeah, you know what? There is a Matt Rife joke there, but that wasn't it.
All right.
I'll give you that. And now
I was
it's
to say Ichabod Crane.
I
Ichabod
will-
Crane. All right, never mind.
I
Sorry.
will try to
Cut
roast
that.
him in the Matt Rife with the Matt Rife shit. Okay, and then lastly, I'm just gonna say this because I don't think you're gonna have me as a guest on again before this happens.
Correct.
Thursday, May 9th, I'm going to be opening for the original Outlaw Comics at Manship Theater in Baton Rouge. It's going to be a televised event. I don't know if my part will be televised. I don't know very much about this. But the Outlaw Comics used to tour with Bill Hicks, and now they're coming back. And they asked me, a young whippersnapper, to be a part of the show. So I'm very excited about that. They've been promoting it. Stay posted. Follow the Outlaw Comics on the social media. And follow me at JB Merrifield on everything except TikTok, in which I am John B. Merrifield.
Yep. Every single Tuesday at Cite de Arts. Come check us out. We run a very fun show, and we would love to see any of you dozens of people there.
Follow Oof, period.
Yeah,
Comedy.
follow Oof Period Comedy. You can type out period. It'll be a different thing. It'll be a fetish page. But
That boy. And every Thursday at Legends Pub, Yeah Comedy, our open mic put on by Lafayette Comedy. Me and Maggie Shipley run that. And
Man, we are so dying down here.
we are dead. The
actually-
cameras
I-
made
I'm
it, so we're
living down
okay.
this.
Yeah, if you by the way,
spiraled out.
if you watch from the beginning, you notice one of the cameras went out. We didn't notice, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm just gonna superimpose a picture of Tyler, and
Yeah.
you'll just hear his voice, but it
If
won't
there's
be him.
like a lack of me in portions of, just know that's why.
We're dying down here, guys.
I'm going to start a podcast from my kitchen called We're Frying Down. And cut.
Cut.
You're trying down here. All right.